So I would suggest for our viewers, Matterport service providers, to think about two things as we go through this next phase of the show. The first is you may be sitting on dozens or hundreds or thousands of spaces, of Matterport spaces that are of schools, museums, theaters, public spaces, commercial buildings, where your client would find it helpful to do training scenarios, either with police, fire, emergency medical responders, or their own training, which may just be whatever their training needs might be. Bill, is it possible to go back to any previous Matterport tour that a Matterport service provider still has and order a Matterport Matter Pack?
Yes, any scan that you've done, you can go back in the add-on section and download the Matter Pack. Again, you request it, it'll bill you, and it'll be emailed to you pretty quickly.
So this is huge because, as Larry said, you may already have, probably already have clients that know, like, and trust you. You already have scanned their space. Now, here is an opportunity to go back and say, here's yet another use case for Matterport, leveraging this Matterport Matter Pack that includes a .obj file. So you may, as a Matterport service provider, already be sitting on this vast library of tours that there's a whole nother use case that you can charge your client for in a variety of ways. And that the second way I would ask for our viewers to look at this show is to say, oh, okay, I can go out to schools or museums or theaters or public spaces or commercial spaces where there's an opportunity to literally, the first sale is related to police, fire, and emergency medical responders as the use case. And oh, by the way, after we've shot the space for that purpose, you now have the Matterport tour, as we all think about it, for other purposes, whether it's marketing or literally 27 other ways to use Matterport. So intro to RSET service provider network for Matterport service providers. Bill, what is it? Tell us about this RSP network.
So
Hey, Bill, but before that, as we're trying to talk to thousands and thousands of people who follow Dan and who trust his advice and counsel in terms of steering them to ideas in this space, Bill, before you do that, I want to go back to how we can help Matterport service providers drive value for their clients, which inherently will drive value for their own individual business, right? So what I would do if I was them is I'd look at my client list and I'd identify those top 10 or 15% of my clients who do the most work with me, who are the most creative, who are the ones who tend to have the toughest questions and the toughest problems they want me to help them solve. And I would look at those and identify different sorts of scenarios and use cases that I can go back to them with and say, what if we could overlay multiple scans over time for training on new environments? What if we could be able to do some pre-planning on reconstruction of a warehouse, a manufacturing facility, whatever it might be? Ask them those questions. You'll be surprised that when you start asking questions in areas where their clients brought up are important to them in the past, some of them will say, yes, I want your help on that. And that's high value help that you'll be providing them. And again, as I said, not only does it provide revenue to you, but we as RSET will help you increase the value and richness of that. So that's good for all of us. And the most important thing is the end client, which is your client, receives disproportionate value. So sorry to jump in there, but this is really important. We're trying to help the Matterport service provider community drive value for their clients and value for their own business.